Hello there, and welcome back to another reading of Mark. We're in chapter 6, the Gospel of Mark, and this is the King James Version. So if you want to, you can read and follow along with us. Let's go ahead and dive in. And he went out from thence and came unto his own country, and his disciples followed him. And when the Sabbath day was come, he began to teach in the synagogues. And many hearing him were astonished, saying, From whence hath this man these things? And what wisdom is this which is given unto him, that even such mighty works are wrought in his name? And is this the carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of James, and Joseph, and Judah, and Simeon, and Simon? And are not this his sister here with us? And they were offended at him. But Jesus said unto them, A prophet is not without honor, but in his own country, and among his own kin, and his own house, in his own house. And he could there do no mighty works, save that he laid his hands upon a few sick folk and healed them. And he marveled because of their unbelief, and went round about the villages teaching. And he called unto him the 12, and being sent them forth by 2 and 2, he gave them power over unclean spirits. And he commanded them that they should take nothing for their journey, save the staff only, no scrip, no bread, no money in their purses. He be shod with sandals, with not to put on 2 coats. He said unto them, In what place soever ye enter into a house, there abide till ye depart from that place. And whatsoever shall ye receive you, nor hear you, when you depart thence, shake off the dust under your feet for a testimony against them. Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable in Sodom and Gomorrah than the day of judgment than for that city. And they went out and preached that men should repent. They cast out many devils, and anointed with oil many that were sick, and healed them. And King Herod heard of him, for his name was spread abroad, and he said that John the Baptist was risen from the dead, and therefore mighty works do show forth themselves in him. Others said he is Elias, and others said that he is a prophet, or as one of the prophets. But when Herod heard thereof, he said, It is John, whom I beheaded. He is risen from the dead. And Herod himself had sent forth and laid hold upon John, and bound him in prison for Herodias' sake, his brother Philip's wife, for he had married her. John had said unto Herod, It is not lawful for thee to have thy brother's wife. Therefore Herodias had a quarrel against him, and would have him killed. But she could not, for Herod feared John, knowing that he was a just man, and holy, and observed him. And when he heard him, he did many things to heard him gladly. And when a convenient day was come, that Herod on his birthday, made a supper to his lord high captains and the chief estates of Galilee. And when the daughter of Herodias came in, and danced and pleased Herod, and them that sat with him, the king said unto the damsel, Ask me whatsoever thou wilt, and I will give thee. And he swore unto her, Whatever thou shalt ask me, I will give it thee, unto the half of my kingdom. And she went forth and said unto her mother, What shall I ask? She said, The head of John the Baptist. And she came straightway with the haste unto the king, and asked, saying, I will that thou give me by and by in the charge of the head of John the Baptist. And the king was exceeding sorrow, yet for his oath's sake, and for the sake which sat with him, he would not reject her. And immediately the king sent an executioner and commanded his head to be brought. He went and beheaded him in prison, and brought his head into the chamber, and gave it unto the damsel, and the damsel gave it unto her mother. And when the disciples heard of it, they came and took up his corpse, and laid it in the tomb. And the apostles gathered themselves together unto Jesus, and told him all things, both what they had done and what they had taught. And he said unto them, Come ye yourselves apart into a desert place, and rest a while. For there are many coming and going, and they had no leisure so much as to eat. And they departed unto the desert place by ship privately. And the people saw the departing, and many knew him, and ran afoot thither out of all cities, and went out them, and came together unto him. And Jesus, when he came out, saw much people, and was moved in compassion towards them, because they were as sheep not having a shepherd. And he began to teach them many things. And when the day was now far spent, his disciples came unto him, and said, This is a desert place, and now the time is far past. Send them away, that they may go unto the country round about, and unto the villages, and buy themselves bread, for they have nothing to eat. And he answered and said unto them, Give them to eat. And they said unto him, Shall we go and buy 200 pennyworth of bread, and give them to eat? He said unto them, How many loaves have ye? To go and see. And when they knew, they said, 5 and 2 fishes. And he commanded them to make all sit down in companies upon the green grass, And they sat down in ranks by hundreds and by fifties. And when he had taken the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, he looked up to heaven, and blessed, and brake the loaves, and gave them disciples to set before them. And the 2 fishes divided he among them all. And they did eat, and they were filled. And they took up the 12 baskets full of fragments, and the fishes. And they that did eat of the loaves were about 5,000 men. And straightway he constrained his disciples to give into the ship. And straightway he constrained his disciples to get into the ship, and go to the other side before Bethsaida. And when he set away, and while he sent away the people, and when he had sent them away, he departed unto the mountain to pray. And when even was come, the ship was in the midst of the sea, and he alone on the land. And he saw them toiling in rowing, for the wind of the country unto them. For the wind was contrary unto them. And about the 4th watch of the night he cometh unto them, walking upon the sea, and would have passed by them. But when they saw him walking upon the sea, they supposed it had been a spirit, and cried out. For they all saw him, and were troubled. And immediately he talked with them, and said unto them, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And went up unto them into the ship. And the wind ceased, and they were sore afraid in themselves, beyond measures, and wondered. And they considered not the miracle of the loaves, for their hearts were hardened. And when they had passed over, they came unto the land of Generates, and drew to the shore. And when they were come out of the ship, straightway they knew him. And they ran through the whole region round about, and began to carry about in beds those that were sick, where they heard he was. And whitherso he entered into villages or cities or countries, they laid the sick in the streets, and besought him that they might touch, if it were but the borders of his garment. And as many touched him were made whole. And that was chapter 6. Some of those words are a little hard to pronounce, but do my best. And anyway, I hope you had a wonderful day, and God bless you, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.